ideas behind the standards of public life law was to address conflicts of interest and address accountability. So conflicts of interest, as defined under the standards in public life law, to put it in simple terms, as a person in public life, your private interests should not improperly influence the execution of your responsibilities. That's to put it in simple terms as defined in the standards in public life law. Now, as we mentioned, that law became in force in March 2020, but it wasn't made retroactive, so we can't look back into the governance structure or governance issues or concerns that may have arisen in previous years. It would have been great if we could have had that law retroactive to, year 2000.
I'm waiting for a wannabe politician or a current politician to pull the Honorable Premier's discussion the other day about retroactive laws and so forth. I want them to pull that one when they're going to make that argument for standards in public life. And I'm waiting for all of the politicians there to give me an excuse why they can't be retroactive. Every last one of them that is elected now.
I would think that accountability and having a great governance structure would have been the priorities. So when you look at the standards of public life law, the principles that must be adhered to are selflessness, which means you act in the interest of the public and you ignore any possible private gain. The other item that's listed as a principle to adhere to under that law is integrity. We have to look at objectivity, openness, honesty, quality level of leadership. All those things are in the standards of public life law as principles to be adhered to. But as you know, the issue that we have in Cayman is enforcement. So it's just like we have the little law, it's not enforced. We have the standard of public life law. Will it be enforced? That's the question, right? So we have that ongoing issue of enforcement. And all this really stems from one thing. It's us. Are we willing to hold them accountable? Are we willing to ask them to step down or to ask for a procedure or an amendment to the Constitution that allows the people a recall? This is something that we as a people have to sit down and seriously consider.
I'll vote for that one entity.
And
that was my call when MLA Brian was on here. If you all are doing 13 amendments, I had a 14th one, recall vote. But obviously